In this lesson, I will demonstrate how to create a lesson activity in Moodle. So by now you know how to get to this course. If you don't know, let's go over it again. So when you're logged in, you are presented with your dashboard. Again, on your dashboard, you'll see System Technologies. Just click on it and it will take you straight to your course. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to set up a lesson activity in this course. Okay, and the lesson activity is all about types of computers. Now first we need to turn editing on, and it's just next to the gear icon. We click on it and click on turn editing on. The pencil icons is an indication that editing is turned on. So now we need to decide where we want to add the lesson activity. So we are going to add it here under types of computers. So let's click on add an activity or a resource. And it opens up the add activity or resource window. And let's find the lesson activity. So here you can see the lesson activity. Let's click on it. And let's just read through the description. The lesson activity module enables a teacher to deliver content and or practice activities in interesting and flexible ways. A teacher can use the lesson to create a linear set of content pages or instructional activities that offer a variety of paths or options for learners. Okay? And here the lessons may be for self-directed learning of a new topic, for scenarios, simulations, decision making, for differentiated revision. Okay, so let's click on add, and the lesson activity window opens. Okay, in the name field you need to provide a name for your lesson. Okay, let's call this Systems Technology Lesson. We can add a description, but for now we leave it out. Click on Appearance, and here you'll see you can activate the progress bar. Just leave it on its default no. You can display a menu, leave it on no. Okay. Availability, you can choose if you want to enable it from a certain date, and you can enable the deadline of the lesson. Okay, and you can set the time limit as well. Just leave it on its default. Flow control, are you going to allow students to review the lesson, or are you going to allow them to provide options to try a question again? And the maximum number of attempts you are providing the students. Okay, let's leave it at its default. Click on grade. It's currently on point and the maximum grade is 100. Leave it on that. Practice lesson, no. Retakes allowed, no. Common module settings, leave it on its default, and then restrict access, leave it on its default. Okay, click on activity completion. Next to completion tracking, click on the drop-down menu and click on show activity as completed when conditions are met. Okay, and what conditions? The student must view this activity to complete it, and the student must reach the end of the lesson page to complete this activity. Okay, leave the tags and the competencies as is, and now you can click on save and return to course. And here you'll see that the lesson activity was added to my topic on types of computers. A lot of planning needs to go into the lesson activity. Okay, this is the topics in my lesson activity. There are 8 topics. And for each topic there's a knowledge check. When they are done going through the topic, they are presented with a knowledge check. The answers on the knowledge check, whether it's correct or wrong, will take them on another path. So when the answers are correct, they move forward to the next topic, but when the answers are incorrect, they are presented with an intervention about the same topic. And after the intervention, they are provided with another knowledge check to see whether they've mastered the content, and only when they've mastered the content, they continue to the next topic. The second topic is the same. You master the second topic. There's a knowledge check. If the knowledge check is incorrect, you are presented with intervention. If the intervention is mastered, you go to the next topic, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so this is the progression of each topic. A topic, a knowledge check. When they answer the knowledge check wrong, they are presented with an intervention. If they master the intervention, they move on to the next topic. If they don't master the intervention, there's another knowledge check until they master the content. So let's set it up in Moodle. So let's click on Systems Technology Lesson, and here you are presented with the Systems Technology Lesson. Okay? It asks you, what would you like to do first? Okay, so I have prepared slides on system technologies. So there are currently 31 slides that I want to use. So I have an introduction, and then on each topic in my lesson layout, on each topic I have different slides and the content that the learners need to master. Okay, so here it is. So now I want to add this to my lesson. So first we need to create a content page. So let's click on Add a Content Page. So now I have to complete the page title. So what will the page title be? And let's look at my PowerPoint slides. The first slide is my introduction slide. So I'll name this page title Introduction. Okay, and here I can add my page contents. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to use this slide in this page as this page content. I want to use it as this page content. Okay, so I have my snippet tool here from Windows. I click on New, and I just drag from the top left corner right up to the bottom right. I release my mouse and I click on File, Save As, and I have a folder on my desktop, and let's call it Intro, and I click on Save. Okay, so let's add that content to my page contents. So in Moodle, I click on this Insert or Edit Image. Then I click on Browse Repositories. Then I click on Choose File. I move to my desktop, and here's my PowerPoint slides. There's my intro page. Click Open, and I click Upload this file. Here is a little preview of the slide. And let's give it a description. Let's just call it Introduction. And I leave the settings as is, and I leave the alignment as is. Let's click on Save Image, and there's my first slide on my first content page. Okay, now let's move down. You'll see here Arrange Content buttons horizontally. Let's leave it at that. Display in menu. Let's leave it at that. Then in my content 1, the description here, Okay, from my introduction, I want to move to supercomputers. Okay, so this will become my next button. So here in Moodle, description, we call this supercomputers. Jump to this page and we'll name it after we've created this page on supercomputers. Okay, let's click on save page. And here our first page was created. Okay, and it's a content page and it should jump to this page. Okay, let's click on the page to view it. And here you see, here is my introduction. And it's a content page. So here it is. And there's my little button on supercomputers. So if we design the next page on supercomputers, when I click here, it will jump to supercomputers. So let's click on edit. Now we're back here. Now we need to add a page, another content page. So let's click the drop down list here and we will add a content page. Let's click on add a content page. And we'll call this supercomputers. Okay, so let's add some content to supercomputers. And here I have my information on supercomputers. Let's click my snippet tool here. Let's just click the new menu. And let's drag it again. And release the mouse. And we save it. Let's call it supercomputers. And it's the text. Let's click on save. Let's go back to Moodle. Let's click on our insert or edit image. Click on browse repository. Click on choose file. And now here's our text that we want to include. Let's click on it and click on open. And then click on upload this file. Okay, let's give it a description. We leave the size as is and we leave the alignment as is, and here we can have a little preview of it. Let's click on save image and here the image is saved. Okay, now you'll see in your PowerPoint that there are other slides that also discusses supercomputers. There's some examples of supercomputers. So we want to add this to our text. Okay, so let's click on the slide that we want to add. Use our snippet tool, click on new. Just drag it from top to the bottom. Let's save it. Let's call this supercomputer, and this is image 1. Let's click save. Let's click on the second one. Again, new, just select it. Let's click on file and save as. This is also supercomputer image 2. Let's click on save. Okay, let's upload it to Moodle. So here is our first slide, the text. Let's click next to the slide and here you'll see your mouse. Just press enter on your keyboard and you see your mouse is flickering at the bottom, and we'll add the slide at the bottom. So let's click insert again, browse, choose file, and we want to add the image 1, open, upload this file. Let's give it a name. If you don't want to add the name now, you can just click on this description not necessary. Okay, so let's click there and click on save image. We can add this at a later stage. Click on save image, and now I have my first slide with the text, my second slide with the images, and let's add the third slide. So I click next to the second slide, press enter on my keyboard, click insert or edit image, click browse repositories, click on choose file, select the second image, click on open, click on upload this file. Let's check this box again, description not necessary. Let's leave the sizes as is and the alignment. Click on save image. And now I have my first slide, my second slide, and my third slide. Let's leave the content, let's leave this arrange content buttons horizontally, display in menu. And now I need to go back to my layout. After supercomputers, there's a knowledge check. Okay, so I've done this. Now there's a knowledge check. So there will be knowledge check 1. Okay, and it should jump to that page. Let's leave it as is. Let's click on save. Let's preview this and see what happens. Okay, so I have my introduction, then I have supercomputers. Okay, let's click on supercomputers and you'll see nothing happens. It jumps right back to introduction. Why? Let's look at it. When we want to edit this, let's click on the gear icon and we're back to our first slide. Okay, now remember, we add the description supercomputers, but the jump should be to supercomputers. So I have my content page here, supercomputers, so I click on it, I save it. So now when I preview it, let's click on now. This is my introduction page, supercomputers, let's click on it. And now it should jump to supercomputers. Here's my text, here's my image, here's another image, and there's my knowledge check. Now if I click here, nothing will happen because we haven't created the knowledge check yet. So let's create the knowledge check. So from here I click on edit. Now I'm back here. Now I want to add a knowledge check. So let's click on the drop down menu, and here you'll see add a question page. Let's click on it. Now we can select a question type. So we can either choose an essay, a matching, multi-choice, numerical, short answer, or true or false. Let's choose a true or false question type. Click on true or false and click on add a question page. Now we need to add a page title. Let's say choose true or false. Okay, and now for my page content. Now I can add a question in here. Let's type a question. Supercomputers are the fastest and most expensive computers in the world. So now I can maybe modify this a bit. Let's look at that. I can put it in a box. Okay, let's just center it. Okay, now let's look at our responses. The correct response would be it's true, and I can type in a response. Well done. And it will take me to the next page. When I answer this question correctly, it will take me to the next page and I will score a mark of 1. But if I get the answer wrong, so let's say it's false. No. Let's say please try again. Okay, and it will not jump to this page, it will jump to supercomputers. Okay, and we don't get any marks for that wrong answer. Let's click on save page. Okay, now there's my question page. Choose true or false. Let's click on it to test it. And here's my question. This will be shown to the learners. Supercomputers are the fastest and most expensive computers in the world. Is it true or false? Let's preview this. So I have my introduction, supercomputers, there, and then the knowledge check. So let's edit this. So in my supercomputers content page, I need to edit the jump. So let's go down. The knowledge check should take me to choose true or false. Let's click on save page. And now let's preview it. I have my introduction, go to supercomputers. I have my supercomputers and I understand it correctly. I go to my knowledge check. And here's my question. Supercomputers are the fastest and most expensive computers in the world. Is it true or false? Let's test what happens when I choose false. Submit. Oh, it says your answer false. Response no. Please try again. So let's continue. And look what happens. It takes me right back to supercomputers. And now I can familiarize myself with the content again. So let's look at what we have so far. We have our introduction content page. And then we have our supercomputers content page. And then we have our choose true or false. This is the question type page. Again, we have our jumps from the introduction to the supercomputers and from the supercomputers to the choose true or false. And from choose true or false, there's a jump either back to supercomputers or to the next page. But let's change something here. Okay, so currently let's look at how it currently works. So we have our introduction slide. When they're done familiarizing themselves with the information, they click on supercomputers. Here's some information for them and some images. And once they know this, they can click on the knowledge check. And here's the knowledge check. There's our question. And when they click true and submit it, they will be taken to the next slide. But when they click false, or when they choose false and submit and click on continue, they are taken back to the slides on supercomputers. But I want to change this. Let's say we want to use a YouTube video for some intervention strategy. Okay, So let's change that. Let's click on edit. And we're back here. And we need to change the jump on this page. Okay. So let's click on update page. And here's our question page. And here's our jump to supercomputers. Okay. Let's click here next page and click on save. Okay. So now let's create that page, that new page. So click on the drop down list and click on add content page. Okay, from here, let's call this intervention 1. Okay, and here we are going to add a YouTube video. Okay, so let's find our YouTube video and have a YouTube video here of supercomputers.
The race for the world's fastest supercomputer is on. China held the lead for the last 5 years, but the...
Okay, so what I need to do is, I need to embed this in here. Okay, so what we do is, under the video, there's a link called share. Let's click on that link. And now you see there are different icons here. Let's click on embed. And now it gives us an embedding code here. Let's select this embedding code and click copy. Let's move back to our Moodle page. And here in this window, let's click the arrow that's pointing down. It says here, show hide advanced buttons. Okay, now we're here. And now we need to click on the HTML icon. So let's click on the HTML icon. And now it provides us with HTML tags. You can remove these tags. And then you can paste the code that we've just copied from YouTube. So right click and paste. And here's our code. So this is the code that allows Moodle to embed that video from YouTube in here. Okay, let's click on our HTML icon again. And you will see now that the video is embedded in this page contents. Okay, now let's provide a description for this page. So this is intervention 1. And next we are going to create another question page. So this will be knowledge check. Knowledge check 2. Okay. So let's save it. Save page. Okay. So here we have our intervention 1, and we want when the learners answer the question incorrect, then the jump needs to be to the intervention 1. Okay, so here we need to change the jump from next page to intervention. So let's change that. Click on the gear icon, and here in our jump, so the correct answer, if they answer it correctly, they need to jump to the next topic. Let's leave that. But if the answer is wrong, they need to jump to intervention 1. Let's click on save page. And let's test it. Let's click on preview. Click now. Okay, so here's our introduction. Supercomputers. Okay, here's supercomputers. Our knowledge check 1. Okay, here's our knowledge check. Click on false, submit. It's wrong. I need to try again. Click on continue. And here's my video. So now I can watch the video.
The race for the world's fastest supercomputer is on. China held the lead for the last 5 years, but the United States has surged ahead with Summit. It's a $200 million government-funded supercomputer built for...
Okay, let's pause it there. Now, when they're done watching this, I want them to do another knowledge check. So we need to create one more question page. Okay, so let's go to edit. So we have our supercomputers content page. Then after that information, they need to do a knowledge check. After the knowledge check, if they answer the question correctly, they can go to the next slide, and that's the next topic. But when they answer the question incorrectly, they need to go to the intervention, watch the video, the YouTube video, and then answer a next question. So here we need to create another question page. So let's click on the drop-down list and click on question page. Let's choose a short answer. Okay, and click on add question page. Okay, type the correct answer to the question. Okay, so here's my question. What is the name of the supercomputer of America? Okay, so here's my page title and here's my page contents. The answer will be Summit, and that's correct. Well done. And they score 1 mark, and they are taken to the next page, and this page we will create later on. Answer 2 can be, let's spell Summit in a different way. Summit, and that's also 1. So we have capital letter S, and here we have all small caps. Okay, and then the third answer we leave blank, and that's that. Click on save page. Okay, and there our question page was created. Okay, so let's see. From supercomputers to knowledge check 1. If knowledge check 1 is incorrect, it takes us to the intervention. If the intervention is done, we are provided with another knowledge check. And if this is done, we move to the next topic. So the jump here on the intervention page should be to the knowledge check 2. Okay, so let's change this. So my jump should be to intervention, tap the correct answer, there. Okay, save page. Okay, now let's preview it. Okay, so here we have our introduction. Let's click on supercomputers. Here's supercomputers, knowledge check 1. Let's choose false, submit. Click on continue. We have our video here and our knowledge check 2. Here's our knowledge check 2. What is the name of the supercomputer of America? Let's call it Summit. And we click on submit. And that's that. Your answer Summit, response well done. Let's click on continue, and there's no new page, and that will be the end of the lesson. So here's an overview of our lesson layout again. After supercomputer slide or information, they add a knowledge check. After the knowledge check, Depending on the answer here, they were taken to the intervention. After the intervention, they had another knowledge check, and then it was the end of this topic. So they've mastered this topic, and now they move to the next topic on mainframes. And this will be conducted in the same manner. First the content, then the knowledge check. Depending on the answer here, they will be provided with an intervention. After the intervention, another knowledge check, and then move to the next topic. And at the end of the 8th topic, they get to the end of the lesson. Then they would have mastered systems, technologies, types of computers. You can, however, make it much easier for yourself. You can change these topics to the topics here on your layout. So after supercomputers, you have knowledge check 1, intervention, and then knowledge check 2. Let's do that. So we'll change this to knowledge check 1. Let's click on the gear icon, and let's change this to knowledge check 1. Okay, the jump will be the same. Click on save. Okay, so now we have supercomputers and then knowledge check 1. Intervention 1 is correct, but this one here is knowledge check 2. Let's change that. And this will be knowledge check 2. And save page. Now it's easier for you to follow. Okay, so let's test it. Preview. No. Introduction. Supercomputers. Supercomputers. Knowledge check 1. There's my knowledge check. False. Submit. Continue. My intervention. Knowledge check 2. There's my knowledge check 2. Submit. There's my answers, correct. And I'm at the end of the lesson, and that is that. You'll notice one mistake that we've made, and that was on the intervention page or the knowledge check page. The knowledge check page, we made one mistake. Let's correct that mistake. Click on the gear icon. It asks us what is the name of the supercomputer of America. Says here Summit as a double M. The second answer will be Summit with a double M. Let's click on Save Page. And that is how you create a lesson activity in Moodle. Remember, this is only the first topic. We still need to create 7 more topics on types of computers.